Hey everyone, it's Harry, your host. So, if you're on Social Security, SSI, or disability benefits, listen carefully because what's happening right now has caught a lot of people by surprise. Across the country, people are checking their bank accounts and seeing deposits that are higher than they expected. Some are feeling relieved, some are excited, and others are honestly scared because they're worried it might be a mistake that the government will take back later. I want to be very clear from the start. This is not random, it's not a glitch, and for most people, it's not a bank error. These changes are tied directly to how Social Security payments are being handled as we move into 2026. And if you don't fully understand what's going on, it's very easy to misunderstand your money, mess up your budget, or make decisions you might regret later. That's why we're taking our time today to walk through everything slowly in simple language, so you know exactly what's happening, why it's happening, and what you should do next to protect yourself. Right now, there is more confusion than ever because people are getting information from social media posts, short clips, comment sections, and headlines that don't explain the full picture. One person says it's a bonus, another says it's a new law, another says it's a mistake, and suddenly everyone is stressed out. Social Security is complicated even in a normal year, and 2026 is bringing several changes all at once. Some of these changes are actually helpful, some are neutral but confusing, and some can be frustrating if you're not prepared. What makes this situation tricky is that many of these changes affect when money shows up, how much shows up at one time, and how it looks in your bank account, even if your yearly total hasn't changed as much as you think. One of the biggest reasons people are seeing higher deposits is the annual cost of living adjustment, often called the COLA. This adjustment is meant to help benefits keep up with inflation. So, when prices go up, benefits go up too. For 2026, this increase is already being built into payments. And depending on when you receive benefits and how your bank processes deposits, you may notice that increase very clearly. For some people, it looks like a nice bump. For others, it looks bigger than expected because they're comparing it to an older amount in their memory, not what they were most recently receiving. This alone has caused a lot of excitement and confusion, especially for people who don't regularly track their exact benefit amount down to the dollar. Another big factor is timing. Social Security does not pay everyone on the same day. Payments are spread out based on birth dates, benefit type, and calendar rules. When holidays and weekends come into play, payments are often sent early. This can make it look like you got paid extra money when in reality, you just received your next payment sooner than usual. If two deposits land close together, it can feel like a bonus, but it's really just a shift in timing. This is especially common with SSI payments where some months can have two deposits and others have none depending on how the calendar falls. For people on SSI, this can be especially confusing. SSI is paid on the first of the month, but if the first falls on a weekend or holiday, the payment is sent early. That early payment still counts for the next month, even though it arrives sooner. So if you see money hit your account at the end of one month and then again at the normal time the following month, it can feel like extra money, but it's not. If you spend it thinking it's a bonus, you might find yourself short later. This is one of the most important things to understand because it affects budgeting in a big way. Disability benefits, including SSDI, follow a similar pattern to retirement benefits with payments spread out across the month. When changes happen at the start of a new year, especially with COLA increases, the first payment reflecting that increase can feel surprising. Some people also receive adjustments for past months that are processed at the same time, making the deposit look even larger. Again, this doesn't mean it's free money. It means the system is catching up or adjusting based on rules that were already in place. Another reason some people are seeing unexpected increases is related to deductions. If you have Medicare premiums taken out of your Social Security check, changes to those premiums can affect your net deposit. Sometimes premiums go up, sometimes they go down, and sometimes they stay the same while your benefit increases. When the benefit increases larger than the premium change, your deposit looks noticeably bigger. For people who don't closely track these deductions, this can feel like a mystery increase that came out of nowhere. It's also important to understand that not everyone will see the same increase. Social Security benefits are personal. They depend on your work history when you claimed benefits, whether you receive SSI or SSDI, and what deductions apply to you. That's why you might see a friend or family member posting online about a big increase while yours looks smaller, or vice versa. Comparing your check to someone else's can cause unnecessary stress because the system is not one size fits all. Now, let's talk about what you should do when you see an unexpected increase. The first thing is to stay calm. Do not assume it's a mistake, and do not immediately spend the extra money. Take a moment to look at your benefit notice, your Social Security account online, or any letters you've received. The Social Security Administration usually sends notices explaining changes, but many people overlook them or don't fully understand what they mean. Reading these notices carefully can answer a lot of questions. If you use direct deposit, check the description of the deposit in your bank account. Sometimes it includes clues about whether it's a regular payment, an adjusted payment, or a retroactive amount. If you're unsure, it's okay to wait before using the money. Giving yourself time can prevent problems later if the payment turns out to be earlier than usual rather than extra. Budgeting is especially important right now. If you rely on Social Security as your main or only source of income, even small changes in timing can throw off your monthly plan. If you receive a payment early, remember that it may need to last longer than usual. Writing down your expected payments for the next few months can help you see the full picture and avoid surprises. Another thing to be aware of is how these changes might affect other benefits. For people on SSI, income limits matter. Even though Social Security adjustments are usually accounted for automatically, having money show up earlier or in a different pattern can still cause concern. Keeping records and understanding what counts as income for which month can help prevent issues with eligibility. There has also been a lot of talk about stimulus checks, and this is adding to the confusion. Some people see a larger deposit and assume it's a new stimulus payment. As of now, most of the increases people are seeing are not stimulus checks. They are related to scheduled benefit changes, cost of living adjustments, and payment timing shifts. It's very important not to confuse these things because expecting a stimulus that isn't there can lead to disappointment and financial planning mistakes. That doesn't mean questions about stimulus checks aren't valid. Many people are struggling, and it's natural to hope for extra help. But until something is officially announced and confirmed, it's best to focus on what we know for sure. Right now, what we know is that 2026 is bringing changes to how Social Security payments appear and when they arrive, and those changes are already showing up in people's accounts. One of the most frustrating parts of this situation is how hard it can be to get clear answers. Calling Social Security can mean long wait times, and online information can be overwhelming. That's why it's so important to take things step by step and not rely on rumors or comments from strangers online. If something doesn't make sense, it's okay to ask questions, but make sure you're getting information from reliable sources. For those of you who are feeling relieved because the increase helps you breathe a little easier, that feeling is valid. Many people need every extra dollar they can get right now. Just remember to look at the bigger picture. Ask yourself whether this increase is permanent, whether it's tied to a yearly adjustment, and whether your expenses might also increase in the coming months. Planning ahead can help turn a short-term relief into longer-term stability. For those of you who are worried that the money might be taken back, that concern is also understandable. The key is documentation. Keep your benefit letters, keep records of deposits, and don't ignore notices from Social Security. If an overpayment does happen, having clear records can make it easier to resolve. In many cases, though, what people are seeing right now is exactly what they're supposed to be seeing. As we move closer to the start of 2026, more people will notice these changes. Some will see them for the first time in January, while others are already seeing early signs because of how payments are processed. That's why it's so important to understand this now before assumptions turn into mistakes. Knowledge gives you control, and control helps reduce stress. I want you to remember that you're not alone in this. Millions of people are going through the same confusion right now. Even if they're not talking about it, the system is complicated and it doesn't always explain itself clearly. Taking the time to understand what's happening puts you ahead of the curve and helps you protect your financial well-being. As we wrap up, here's the most important takeaway. Unexpected increases in Social Security deposits for 2026 are real, but they are not magic money. They come from specific rules, adjustments, and timing changes. Some are permanent increases. Some are just shifts in when money arrives. The key is knowing the difference so you can budget wisely, avoid stress, and make informed decisions. And like I promised, we'll continue to address your biggest questions, including what's really going on with stimulus check rumors and who would be eligible if anything changes. Make sure you stay informed, stay cautious, and don't let confusion control your choices. If this information helped you, take a moment to support the channel, because staying informed together makes all